reducing CO2, I think that's what the people want. And so if we're not doing what the people want, then we need to pull back the program. Do we need to retool it, or do we eliminate it? One of the questions in my mind is, hey, based on that last release where we allegedly eliminated almost CO2, is this the wrong solution? Is this a bad solution? One of the components of the Climate Commitment Act is that all of our energy prices have gone up as a result of that. In my district, the Clark Public Utilities gets about 35% of its electricity from a natural gas plant. While over a third of our electricity, Clark Public Utilities has to compete in the open market, spending money to buy the carbon credits that the state issues, and that drives up people's utility bills. And I am hearing from an awful lot of my constituents that their electric bills are getting unaffordable. Different from that, Northwest Natural Gas, a lot of people heat their homes with natural gas. Hey,
thanks everybody. This is awesome. Behind you, is that right? Well, first, let me just say this first before we get started on the program. Thanks, to everybody here, and all of you back here as well. Just really appreciate it. It's in a short session to get this done. It takes a lot of collaboration. Just really appreciate all the hard work and all the hard work that went into making this happen. Yeah. So let's get a bill signed. What do you guys think? And let me, is Brianna here? I just want to make sure I'm doing this in the right order. So, so we worked out our speaking order. Who's following me?
I don't know.
Okay. So thank you. Now we've got it. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks everybody for being here. We so appreciate it. It's been a long journey to get here, but because of the hard work of so many folks, it's a historic day for Washingtonians. In my State of the State address, I called on all of us not just be witnesses to history, but to make history together. I'm proud to join all of you in making history today by signing into law Senate Bill 6346, the Millionaire's Tax. I want to start by thanking the many, many individuals who worked hard to make this day possible. As I often say at bill signings, it takes a village to get any bill over the finish line. With this bill, it's fair to say it was a very large village indeed. Thanks to all of you. I appreciate the collaboration and partnership with legislators and legislative leaders. All bills, of course, need champions in the form of prime sponsors. You'll be hearing from the prime sponsors of this legislation on the Senate side, State Senator Jamie Peterson, who's also our majority leader, and companion sponsor, Representative Joe Fitzgibbon. Give them a big round of applause for their work. I also want to thank, on the legislative side, State Representative April Berg, and State Senator Noel Frame, who played significant roles as caucus finance leads. Give them a big round of applause. And there's so many people. There you are. Okay. And of course, our speaker, Lori Jenkins, who really helped lead it. But to all the legislators who supported this, who spoke in support of it, and who voted for it, give all of them a big round of applause. Thank you, everybody. So Washington, as we know, has one of the most regressive tax systems in the country, asking the most of those with the least. According to the Nonpartisan Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy, we basically rank at the bottom of all 50 states and Washington, D.C. in tax fairness. In other words, Washington families whose income is in the bottom 20% pay a whopping 13.8% of their total income in state and local taxes, while the wealthiest pay a far smaller percentage of their income. That's not fair, and that's not right. We've known this for a long time. and we've been working hard to address this disparity. It's also fair to say that this disparity was made much worse by President Trump's massive tax cuts for the wealthy, paid for, by the way, with cuts to necessities like health care and food assistance that have tremendous harm to the people of Washington state. Millionaires and billionaires, in other words, got a huge tax cut at the expense of working families. While Washington, D.C. is taking us backwards, the good news is here in Washington state, we're moving forward, everybody. Yes. Yes. And today, we're taking a historic step forward to rebalance an unfair system. Before I sign this bill and before we hear from other speakers, I want to be clear about what it does. Less than 0.5% of all Washingtonians will pay tax on income over $1 million in a single year. It does not tax the first $1 million. If you're fortunate enough to earn $900,000 in a year, you will not be taxed under this legislation. So, for example, if you make $1.2 million in income in a single year, you pay taxes on the $200,000 over the $1 million that you make. It is not a tax on the value of someone's assets, like a house or property, only income. Since I first announced my support for millionaires' tax back in December, I made it clear that a substantial portion of these dollars must go back in the pockets of hardworking Washingtonians, small businesses, working families, to make life more affordable for them. What we do with this revenue matters. In the first full year of this revenue, when it comes in, more than 40% of the revenue will go directly back to Washingtonians. Let me give you 5 examples. Number 1, we expanded a wonderful program that we have in Washington state, thanks to our state legislature, the Working Families Tax Credit. Yeah. Fantastic program. This program, by the way, other states are starting to model this program, by the way. They see the success of this. This literally sends a check back to hardworking Washingtonians in the form of a check between $300 and $1,300, depending on the size of their family and their income. It's a great program. We just need to expand it. And with the revenue from the millionaire's tax, we're adding 460,000 working families who receive that tax credit every single year. Number 2, funding for free breakfast and lunch for every K-12 student in Washington state. This puts money back in the pockets of families and helps make sure that kids are ready to learn. Guess what? It's tough to learn on a hungry stomach, right? Yeah. This will help those kids all across our state. It's been a priority of mine since I ran for governor. I talked about my first stay at the state. It was the first bill I proposed as governor. And I just want to also recognize 2 folks who have been very involved in this legislation effort for a long time, State Senator Marcus Riccelli and State Representative April Berg. Give them a huge round of applause. They have been champions on this issue for some time, and I appreciate their partnership and negotiations on this proposal. Number 3, we're investing more than $300 million of the revenue into affordable child care in the first full biennium we bring in this revenue. That's going to help families all across Washington state. Number 4, we're helping out businesses and small businesses in particular. Under this proposal and the revenue we generate, 138,000 additional small businesses will see their B&O tax reduced or eliminated entirely. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy and our communities. We know that. They drive economic growth and they create jobs. This bill gives them much needed relief. And number 5, Washingtonians will no longer pay sales tax on baby diapers, on over-the-counter drugs and hygiene products, saving them money every single day. In addition, of course, to sending money back to working families and small business owners, this bill will be making important investments, and that's an understatement, in affordable health care, long-term care, quality K-12 education, all the key programs that make Washington state great. This is truly a historic step forward on rebalancing our tax code. It's the right thing to do for Washington's working families. It's the right time to do it, and it's the right policy. Today, thanks to everyone in this room and so many other all across the state, we're making history together. And now we're going to have a chance to hear from some other speakers. I'll just read through the list to make sure everyone knows the order in which we're doing this. So first, we'll hear from State Senator Jamie Peterson. Next, from Representative Joe Fitzgibbon. Next, from Athena Dunn. Next, from Terrence Santos. And lastly, from Brian Kirshner. and then we'll come back and sign this wonderful legislation.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jamie Peterson. This is a historic day for our state. I'm proud to be here today to celebrate the most substantial progressive tax reform in our state's history. A broad coalition of labor, business, and progressive stakeholders came together to bring to life a reform that will make life better for everyone in our state. It's going to make our state more affordable for millions of Washington families and small businesses. It'll help fund our public schools, improve access to health care, child care, higher education, and all of the other services that people in our state depend on their state government for. With this bill, we're going to begin to right a historic wrong that has plagued our state for nearly 100 years and made our tax system one of the worst and most regressive in the entire country. We've asked Washington's working families for far too long to shoulder far too much of the tax burden for the things that we all care about, and we have not asked enough of our wealthiest neighbors. People across our state are struggling right now. They're struggling to pay rent, to afford health care and food, and to make ends meet. The millionaire's tax represents hope and change for people in communities like mine and across the state. I'm deeply grateful to all of this wonderful coalition that helped make this day possible. And I hope and believe that one day we're going to look back on this day as the day when things really started to change for us, when our state and our system started to get more fair. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here with so many people who helped make this achievement possible. I'm Joe Fitzgibbon, the House Majority Leader, and I really want to echo what Governor Ferguson and Senator Peterson have said about this. This is much more than a millionaire's tax bill. This is a tax reform bill at a time when so many Washington families are struggling to make ends meet. We are going to make it a more affordable place to live and a better place to work and to do business. In addition to asking our wealthiest neighbors, the people who have done so extraordinarily well in our thriving tech-based economy, we're also making it more affordable for families to afford diapers for babies and for adults, to afford Tylenol, to afford soap and shampoo. We're also making it more affordable for small businesses by eliminating the B&O tax obligation for tens of thousands of small businesses in our state, lowering business and occupation tax for healthcare providers, eliminating sales tax on services, which we've heard from businesses, big and small, from local governments, from school districts, from nonprofits, is a big step towards making it easier for them to comply with our tax code, lightening the load on them as well. This is a major investment in our future. We know that the wealthiest people in our state, for whom we are so fortunate to have them here doing business and growing jobs, also benefit when we have a well-funded K-12 school system, also benefit when we have a well-funded healthcare system that people, at a time when the federal government is making it harder and less affordable for people to access healthcare, Washington State is going the other direction, providing stable, ongoing funding for healthcare, for childcare. We are taking a huge step here today to make the 8 million people in our state live in a stronger, better state, that they can rely on the things that state government provides on in a way that the wealthiest in our state have not been contributing to and now will. And it is really a testament to the hard work of everybody in this room and of thousands and thousands of people not in this room today that this is possible. I just want to thank everybody so much for every contribution that you made towards making this state a more affordable and better place to live, work, and do business. Thank you.
There you are. You go right ahead.
Hello, good morning. My name is Athena Dunn, and I'm a single parent of 3 here in Washington. The Working Families Tax Credit made a real difference for my family, like many other parents. I'm juggling school, work, and raising my kids. When the extra support came in, it gave us breathing room. It lowered my stress and allowed me to focus on moving forward instead of just getting by. And because of this stability, I've been able to stay on track with my education. I'm proud to say I'll be graduating this June with my bachelor's degree. I'm working towards a career in community health so that I can help families just like mine. It also directly impacted my children. I was able to buy school supplies and cover things that needed to feel prepared and supported. Those moments mattered and helped create a stable home for me and my family. The Working Families Tax Credit isn't just financial support. It's an investment in families who are working hard to build a better future. It helped me move forward. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Terrence Jeffrey Santos. I am part of that community of small business owners. My work can be falls under the title of community storytelling, and that work has placed me in two different industries: that of food and beverage, which I'm connected to Musang, an awesome restaurant on Beacon Hill, founded by a powerful Filipino American, Melissa Miranda. And I also work in the creative workforce, our creative economy. Just recently founding a new media company to tell our stories through visual means. And anyone in that community of small business owners can tell you that starting a small business, a new one at that, there are challenges that keep us from standing on strong financial legs. And anyone who's operated and owned a restaurant know that we survive on slim margins. But with this millionaire's tax, I have hope. Hope by specifically more cash on hand, otherwise known as cash flow. The lifeblood of any business. Real time, that means for us restaurant owners, maybe we can make repairs, some upgrades, some system changes that allow us to run our business more efficiently, become more financially healthy, in the creative economy that allows us to hopefully provide more consistent employment for our creative workforce who work gig to gig. But if I could also add that this community storytelling has allowed me to work with Black and Indigenous as well as femme and queer-led and centered organizations. So many vibrant and beautiful communities that call Washington State home. But so many of us who are working 50, 60, 70 hours a week and are still seeing the wealth gap widen, seeing intergenerational wealth elude us. But again, I have hope today. I have hope, and the hope that I think many of us are clinging onto has grown. And so I want to thank our governor, the staff, our legislator. Edwin Obrest, where you at? Your colleagues for what they have stated is pushing us forward in progress, in hopes that for all of us in Washington, that we can get to a place where we see our ideas and our work bring us to a place of not just surviving, but thriving. So thank you again, Governor.
Good morning. My name is Brian Kirshner. I'm a technology executive who lives in Seattle and works in AI. I'm really excited to be here today, even though it just might cost me a little more. Last year, I had a wealth event when our company was acquired. When we file federal taxes, I will owe one big payment. Big. I wish some of it was staying here in Washington because I believe in paying what I owe. For too long, rich people like me have paid less than we truly do thanks to a tax code skewed our way. So our state budget can't do right by all people. That's about to start to change with this millionaire's tax. For those saying us rich folks will leave if taxed, I can promise you we won't pack up en masse. And any who leave will be replaced. Washington is on the brink of creating a lot of wealth through AI. We are right to capture some of it and make sure everyone benefits through education, healthcare, and more tax fairness for small businesses and working families. I commend Washington's legislators and the governor for doing the real work of fixing our tax code so we can take advantage of what will be a generational opportunity to ask the wealthy to contribute more to create the kind of communities we all want to live in. Thank you.
So first, join me in giving a round of applause for all of our speakers, especially the community members who are, and that's, look, there's going to be a public conversation around this, right, in the days and weeks and months ahead, as there should be for something of this historic nature. And, you know, putting front and center those perspectives that you just heard, I think will be critical, because when Washingtonians hear the benefits that flow to working families, to businesses, large and small, to kids in schools with those free meals, for child care services for thousands of Washington families, it's going to make a huge, huge difference, and we're deeply appreciative of their speaking up. I also want to make sure I did not forget in my talking points, sometimes I go a little too fast, if I did not thank Representative April Berg and Noel Frame for their leaders as fine. Okay, good. All right. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Okay. Now, can't thank those folks enough. And now it's time to sign this legislation. Now, for those who have been here before, you know, of course, the prime sponsors typically receive a pen from the governor. I'm going to use the governor's prerogative and use one pen, keep it for myself, if that's okay with everybody. And then, of course, one for Speaker Jenkins, who we've had many conversations, and just like the majority leader helped on the Senate side, obviously Speaker Jenkins, on the House side, your leadership was critical, and we had many conversations over the last couple months. I'm so deeply appreciative. So I'm going to use 4 pens if my math is right. So I'll start with the first one. Give a round of applause to Speaker Jenkins for her leadership. Okay. Next up. Signs up, please. Joe Fitzgibbon, where are you? There you are, sir. Give a round of applause for Representative Fitzgibbon. And, of course, for Senator Peterson. So I have I covered everybody?
Yep.
Covered all.
You
Wonderful.
all right,
Excellent. And now it's time to hold this wonderful bill up. Give a round of applause for everybody and their hard work on this legislation. Thank you. We did it, everybody. And one last thing. We're going to have a little rally on the steps at 11:30. Come on down and join us. Hang around, take some selfies, enjoy it. I need one of those signs. Save one for me. And thanks so much, everybody. Great to see you all. Hey.